Hello. Yes, it's good to be back posting here on the DCKO, RTM, and Beyond channel. For those looking for news and information when it comes to like the game, I think you've got to wait like maybe about a week and then things are going to start being a bit proactive with announcements and other stuff like that. Because if you're anything like me, you want to hear as much information, you want to see as much, and you want to find out when you can get hands-on with this game. Also, we're getting close to that 4,000 subscriber mark here on the channel, so if you hit subscribe, post notifications on all, that would be amazing. Thank you very much for the support. For this video, we're going to look at the 19 characters already revealed. Yes, there are 19. There's meant to be 20, but there's a reason for that. And also, we're going to be doing a little bit of community involvement. Because I asked you the question, who should they add to DCKO? Before we go anywhere, I want to play a little game with you and go over some of the alt costumes that have been seen in some of the footage and some of the imagery on the website. But did you spot any other alt costumes you can change into? Let me know in the comments what I've missed. The first alternate costume is Doomsday. We can see right here, this is one that you'll probably have as your playable. The second costume for Doomsday can be seen here, more of a tear away from the original costume or one of the costumes that we've known the character to have. Of course, he's had that containment suit, which you can see here in Man of Steel issue number 18. So it's like, yeah, I think that they're drawing some comparisons, but having it more like he's breaking out or partly breaking out of that containment suit. He's not contained anymore. The next one is Catwoman. You can see on screen, this is the one that we'd seen from the trailers, but also there's another one in the trailer. In this fight sequence here against Sunfire, you'll see Catwoman in black and then switch to the purple in this fight right there. If you notice in this fight sequence, Catwoman goes from having the black costume against Starfire to switching to the purple right there, which is the nice old school one that I personally like. And I actually noticed something in this sequence. Starfire has a costume alt as well. Yeah, whilst I was recording, I stumbled upon this by accident. You can see that's one costume right there of Starfire's. And yeah, I noticed that whilst I was recording that segment, she's actually changed into a different costume. So that was a cool little grab right there. Batman, I believe, has two costumes, which is the first one you can see here, which you can see in action. So that's that black and grey with a little bit of a yellow to gold trim. And of course, the utility belt in gold. The other version is towards the end of the trailer and looks like this on screen with a little bit more of the blue and a kind of lighter grey and the classic Batman symbol. The final alt suit, alt costume that I've seen is this one right here from Robin. Like I said, if you see anyone that's alt that you're like, Rich, you got that wrong or you missed that one, let me know in the comments. Because you can see Robin in his alternate costume right here. This is the one that we kind of know Robin for. A lot of people were saying it's the Rebirth version. Of course, take it as you want, but it's the colors, isn't it? It's the one that we've known him for. It's the flying Graysons. It is the green. It is the red. It is the yellow trim. It's the black cape. It's all what we know about the character. I'm still a little unsure if this is going to be like Jason Todd or this is going to be Damian Wayne's version of Robin. But anyway, like that's splitting hairs. It's all about the fighting game, but also alt costumes. But like I said, let me know if I've missed off any other alt costumes. As you know, counting is important, and I've counted these characters, I don't know how many times, and I've only got to 19. So the biggest question is, who is going to be the final of the 20 that are going out as launch characters for DCKO? Heading over to the website to clarify that point, it still says on the drop down on the FAQ that there will be 20 legends available at launch with a new one released each month. Now we know that. So we're still missing one more, and I can imagine that the developer will go with some of the best or most popular DC characters to make DC Legends within the game. If I was a betting man and looking for, say, the most searched, the most popular in terms of, say, merchandise sales, maybe even like movie representation and stuff like that, I would go with the following: Flash, Joker, Aquaman, or Martian Manhunter. Maybe Martian Manhunter would be a bit of a stretch in terms of popularity, but definitely the other three, Flash, Joker, and Aquaman, have a big search and also popularity. So there's a bit of everything. There's bankable, but also there's searchable and popularity. So it's like a trinity of why I think those three would be the best last candidate. But I know what you're saying. You're like, well, Rich, that's not my favorite character. And that's right. You know, my favorites are Watchmen, Sandman, and of course, you know, Batman, who's of course, coming into the game, so that's good. But like I said, I want to finish off the video by reacting to you, the community, in terms of like, what do you want to see? There's been loads on the Discord, but I wanted to find out from you and obviously to put your name in the video. So thank you very much for getting involved and you've made it into the video. So first of all, Tyre Spitz says that they would like to see Absolute Batman, Superman and Wonder Woman. Thank God they're already in the game, but of course the absolute versions. Superboy Prime, and last but not least, Green Lantern and Super Rabbit, Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny. Well, yeah, okay, that anything can happen. Batman of the Future and Shazam, yep, the artist, I agree with that. The Bat Family and the Flash Family, yep, future story, expanding, a nice PvE type story mode with it, so you can play the characters, but also have a arc of some description of a story. Supergirl, maybe some other of the Warner Brothers properties. I don't know if they're going to do that, but it could be cool to see some crossovers. Definitely with Rook here, a Reverse Flash could be really cool, as well as some of the other characters. Of course, they're personal to you, who you want to see in game. Booster Gold, Green Arrow, yeah, that definitely works. That hero, I definitely agree with that, as well as some of the others. It makes sense, especially a crossover with and cross promotion with the PR going nuts for stuff in the DC cinematic universe. Aston Gregory, yep, Lobo, Two-Face, Swamp Thing, all the ones that play into some more Batman, but also other types of mini-universes within DC, makes sense. Dr. Fate, yeah, Troll, and The Flash, yeah, absolutely Memory. Yes, I like the idea of King Shark, as well as Mr. Freeze, Black Canary, as said here, and the iVampire story arc. Now, I had a quick look at that today, because I wasn't really au fait with it, but definitely something that could be an interesting crossover, where Marvel have got Marvel Zombies, well, you could have the Vampire story arc, the iVampire story arc. Make sure to subscribe, post notifications on all, as we will be doing more of these community involvement posts. So thanks very much for the support so far and keep it coming. It's always really exciting putting these videos together, and hopefully we'll have more to talk about in terms of like the gameplay. I've got 1 or 2 video ideas and some shorts ideas that I'll be putting out, but we're just waiting for a lot of meat to go with our vegetables in terms of this particular game. So thanks very much for the support. I'm out of it for now. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Oh, and let me know where I've missed any alt costumes, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye.